see you with it, show could treat you right. Give me just a minute of your time tonight. We both are here to have big fun, so let it rip.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the McKinley Academy's first official podcast with your hosts, DeAndre Casias
and Mitchel McConnel.
Our topic for today is going to be conspiracy theories. There's a lot of unknown stuff that goes on in the society that we live in, and we're going to get into some of the ideas of what people think is going on. The first and most notorious one on our list being the Great Pyramid of Giza.
The Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest among the Egyptian pyramids, served as the tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, who ruled during the First Dynasty of the Old Kingdom. Built in the early 26th century BC, over a period of about 27 years, the pyramid has a base of 756 feet. It stands at around 481 feet tall. It is the oldest of the seven wonders of the ancient world, and is the only wonder that remains largely intact. Reason being, aliens.
Recently, the Great Pyramid of Giza has been a largely talked about subject, and that reason being, it is like a perfect, I don't know how to explain it, it's just like perfect, every down to the very bit. It's perfect in any way.
No, I know what you mean. Like, just the precision behind it, it's unfathomable, you know? The precision that you couldn't fit a razor blade in between certain spaces, you know? And there's just so many things that prove that it could be aliens that built the Pyramid of Giza, you know? There's the fact that it's almost perfectly aligned to true north. It's more aligned perfectly to true north than any other man-made structure that has been created within the past 3,000 to 4,000 years, you know?
Yeah.
And it's also the center of, like, the landmass of the world. And what I mean by that is, if you were to have lines going across the longitude axes of the world,
Yeah.
they would hit more landmass from where the pyramid is than they would anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
That's because they're the center of the land. It's the center of the landmass. It's hard to describe, but that's the only way I could think of describing it, you know?
And there's no way that ancient civilization back then were that advanced to build something so perfect. Like, it just doesn't add up. Those people, like, they didn't have the technology we do now, and we can't even do something like that now.
No, I get you. I mean, you know, they probably had math and stuff.
Well, yeah.
But they weren't advanced to that extent, I feel like.
Yeah. But, like, back to the aliens, like, there's no way they couldn't have just, like, aliens had to have built that. Because, though, think about it, the walls, everything in it is at least a ton, 2 tons. And they're stacking that up all the way to the top, making it a perfect cone.
The pyramid is 400, almost 500 feet tall, you know, having to carry up 2 to 3 ton bricks that high, like, it's just, I can't see that happening, especially humans doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's not like they had cranes or, you know, dump trucks or anything like that to pick
Yeah, they
anything
didn't.
up.
Yeah, they didn't have nothing. Like I said, they didn't have the technology that we do now, and we still can't do any of that.
And, I mean, there's people that have been saying that they could have, like, the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, they could have used these big tubes that made sound, like, that you would blow into, and they would lift up an object using sound. And they found like these objects, but they haven't found any in the proportion that you would need to lift up a giant brick, you know?
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that the bricks were found 2 to 300 miles away from where the Great Pyramid of Giza is located. Meaning it would have had to be carried hundreds of miles.
Yeah, and like, what was their form of transportation? Camels? I mean, I'm just saying, camels aren't like taking that. They're not dragging that.
You could line up 50 camels, dude. I don't think they're carrying a 5-ton rock, you know. or 3-ton rock, sorry.
They had no transportation, and them just like walking with it, like pulling it or something with the rope, like that's not.
That's not practical. I'm sure we've all seen those games or those ads where there's the peasants hold like, carrying
Yeah.
rocks. They're
Yeah.
carrying rocks all the way across Egypt to stack the pyramid, which is it's just impractical. That's not
Yeah,
something that
there's-
could happen.
That doesn't make sense. Like, there's just, I'm still like in awe that they like built that long ago, and we can't build something close to that now.
And I mean, the odds of us being the only ones in the universe are slim to none.
Yeah.
I feel like if we could be alive, then what's stopping another planet,
Yeah.
2-3 galaxies away from having the same conditions that we do and supporting life?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just feel like if life is that advanced somewhere else, then we're kind of like the bottom feeders of the of the food chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if they're over there with traveling galaxies at light speed and some crazy stuff like that,
Yeah, and we're just.
we're
sitting
flying to
here.
the moon and back for information, dude. Just
Yeah.
for like test tubes of dirt and stuff.
Yeah.
Then that really shows how advanced we are.
Yeah, you got a point. Like, how. And if aliens did build that long ago, and they were that advanced that long ago, how do you think they are now? Like, they've probably changed so much since then.
Yeah, no. I mean, me and my brother, we talk about stuff like this a lot because my brother's older than me.
Yeah.
And, he's just my older brother. We talk about dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's only 2 reasons why aliens would come here, bro. It's either to spread peace or to conquer the world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what else? Why else would they come here? It's
Yeah.
not like they have anything. There's nothing of use to them here.
Yeah, there's like nothing. Literally.
It's all just buildings at this point. Like, half of nature is gone. Half of the resources, the natural resources that they would probably use are gone. So
Yeah.
why are they here other than to conquer? And there's been so many accounts. Well, I should say witnesses, like witness reports
Yeah.
of people seeing aliens,
Mm-hmm.
Even here in New Mexico, like the crash in Roswell in it was like 1957 or something like that.
Yeah. And they just covered that up.
Yeah, they just covered it up, man. I mean, the government declassified aliens not too long ago, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So aliens do exist.
And they could, who knows, they could be.
They could be
With
watching
us
us
right
right now.
now.
They could be watching us make this podcast.
Yeah, they
I
could
could
just
get
be.
beamed up after this.
If we go missing after talking about conspiracy theories,
It was the aliens, or
Or
it
the
was
government.
the FBI, or it was someone like that.
it was someone with a higher power.
It wasn't me, I promise.
I believe that's going to conclude our podcast for today. Join us in our next segment next month, where we talk about something else. Stay pimpin'!